Want to combine your VTubing and IRL camera? Well, I got the perfect stream routine for you today. I will show you two ways of doing it. You can either have two buttons that can activate between your VTuber and your IRL camera, or you can have one button, because you know I like being efficient, to control all of it together. First things first, you want to go down to services and your Mix It Up application and make sure that your OBS is connected. So I like doing all of my commands initially in action groups just so I have them in one place, and then you can move them to a different area such as the chat commands or the stream redeems after. Let's start by doing two redeems. So one button that turns on the VTuber and turns off the camera, and then the other one that does the vice versa. So I'm going to click new action group. That brings up a new command editor. This one is the command for turning the VTube on and the camera off. So you're going to go to action, scroll down until you see streaming software to get these commands here. You can set your streaming software to default or whatever one you're using. I'm using OBS and either one works for me. Source visibility, and then you want to have the exact name of your source name that you are turning off and on. If you can see up here, I do have a picture of my sources from my OBS. You can see that one of the sources is named Droid Camera OBS, and I have spelled it the exact same way with capitals and spaces. And then the second one is the VTube, spelled exactly the same way as well. As always, these commands will be available in my Discord, or you can follow along to get it yourself. So basically, this is showing you that when you turn this on, you want the Droid camera, which is my IRL camera, to turn off and my VTube model to turn on. You're going to do the exact same thing for another command called camera on. So same thing here. The only difference is for this one, when the camera turns on, my camera is on here and then my VTube is off. Alright, just to give you a quick demonstration, my VTube camera is on right now and my IRL camera is off. So when I press camera on, it should turn my VTuber off and the camera on. As you can see, those are my stuffies and my creations, the Shook family over there. And then just to show the opposite, with VTube on, my model is back and my camera is off. Now to do everything in just one button is a little more complicated because it uses some special identifiers. You'll need two special identifiers, one to recognize the VTuber source and one to recognize your IRL camera source. Just to set things up, you want this identifier to be up and running the moment you start your application. So here, when I start the application, I want it to have the VTube model off. And then we do the same thing with your camera identifier. You can basically take the VTuber one and just change a little bit by taking the V off, making it source visibility. But same thing here, it's off, and then source visibility, your camera is off here as well. Make sure your global usable is on, otherwise it won't work. With this setting, both your VTuber and camera will be off the moment you start your Mix It Up. If you would like it differently, you would have to set the identifiers in the same way. So if VTuber is going to be on the moment you start the application, you want to change the value to on and toggle this to visible. All right, now we're gonna put it into events. You are going to go to generic application launch. When you go in, you're going to run the two commands, the VTuber identifier and the cam identifier. That can be found under this action, command, and then run it. Make sure that you toggle globally usable. That way, Mix It Up can recognize it within all the other commands as well. Next, I made two commands. Here you see it's test cam and VTube test. So here you can see if the camera, the IRL camera is off, you will turn on the IRL camera, and this is a special identifier that recognizes it. You want to make sure the global usable is toggled on, and then the command exit current command is super important. If you do not have this command in, it will roll through both scenarios. And then the second one is the same thing. If your IRL camera is on, you will turn the source visibility of the camera off, and then the special identifier is here. You're going to do the same scenario with the VTube, just with the source name changed. So here, see, do you notice how it says V source visibility? It is different. It's a different special identifier. So when the VTuber source is off, we want to turn the VTube on. Here's the special identifier that says the VTube is on. and then exit current command. Then the same thing with the second one. If the VTube is on, you want to turn the VTube off. And this is a special identifier there. Next, you can decide where you want this command to be. I have put it in my commands, but if you make it as a Twitch redeem, it's the same exact process, just in a different area. My command name here is cam vtube. So when you open it, you just auto run the two commands. All right, just for a demonstration, when I press this one, the VTuber turns off, the camera turns on. If I press the same button again, it will be the opposite. So that way you can condense things into one button, which is how I always like to do things. I hope this helps whoever is out there who is looking into VTubing or who already is a VTuber and is looking into more IRL content. Thank you to Ducky for asking me to do this for him. And if there are any other commands you are curious if Mixed Enough can run, please leave a comment down below. I'm always interested in trying out new things. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys in the next one.